Hi viewers, hope you have watched our previous videos completely fully. Are you all watching everything fully? In the last session, in the last video, we have seen the introduction of boron p block families. In that, we have seen the atomic number, how to write the atomic number of an element, or how it is essential for an element as the identification card is important to us. Atomic number plays a vital role to an element. In that, based on that atomic number, the electronic configuration will be there, and based on that electronic configuration, that element shows the chemical properties. And we have seen that inert pair effect. The nucleus will not have control over, if it is the nucleus will not have, if it is the larger size, while moving down, that electron at number of electron orbit will be increases, hence the control over the nucleus at the last valence electron will not be there, control will be reduced at the last electron, hence it will be ionization energy will be less in that same way electronegativity will be less down the group, isn't it? That means in the younger ages, parent square will be much more, as it's a smaller element. This nucleus in the sense it is positive charge, electrons will be in negative charge, nucleus force on the outermost electron will be more. When the electron size increases, nucleus attraction force at the last outermost electron will be reduced, so ionization energy decreases down the group, electronegativity also decreases down the group, understood? So based on that, we have seen that ionization energy in the sense removal of an electron from the outermost orbit, electronegativity in the sense attracting a pair of electron towards that. Those are all the important terms. Ionization potential energy, that is ionization, that is inert pair effect in the sense because of the shielding effect, introduction of d orbit and f orbit. Because of introduction of d orbit and f orbit, this have poor shielding effect. This nucleus will not have the force over that, control over the last electron, so this only one electron will take part in the reaction, the other electrons will not take part in the reaction. That is called the inert pair effect, understood? So that the oxidation numbers of an element will be differ, that is by decreasing 2 electrons, either +1 +3 +2 +4 in that same way. So higher oxidation, higher elements will be, these are the higher elements 1 and 2. Higher elements will be stable in the higher oxidation number, lower elements will be stable in the lower oxidation number. Boron here in thallium will be stable in +1 oxidation state, boron will be stable in +3 oxidation state, isn't it? We have seen so far. These are all the revision for the previous videos. Now we'll see about the boron. Boron is a rare element. We have seen that is a rare element, that only 0.0001 percentage only we can get from the earth crust. It is mostly in the form of borates. This is non-metal. Boron is a non-metal, hard and black solid available form. It is black, hard and solid available form. Important ore of boron is borax. It is Na2B4O5OH4 and 8 molecules of water. Then here orthoboric acid H3BO3 and kernite is Na2B4O5OH4, 2 moles of water. Okay, we'll see in this borax chemical properties and the uses of borax and orthoboric acid in this video. Before we enter into this, we'll see about this. This is the order of an element. How to remember the boron family? We have compared that with our family members as father, mother. Here boron, aluminum, gallium, indium and thallium, isn't it? So boron, this is group 3 element. What is the most essential use of this boron in the sense? Control rod. What does it mean by control rod? Control rods are used in nuclear reactor to control the fission rate of uranium and plutonium. Boron, indium, cadmium and silver are capable of absorbing many neurons without fissioning themselves. Understood? Control rod. So boron can act as a control rod in the nuclear reactor. Then aluminum can be in the packaging material. Many things we can see nowadays in the Swiggy food items can be packed with the aluminum foils. Even our beverages, to get protected from the moisture, packing the Complan, whatever that is, Boost, whatever that is, Horlicks, in the aluminum foil they are packing up, and the tablets are packing up in the aluminum foil. And we know that power lines also, electric wire also used by aluminum. Here one more use of this boron control rod. And heat resistance glasses. In the laboratory we can see Borosil glasses made by boron, okay, that can be resistance to heat, hold the capacity to temperature when we are heating. So Borosil glasses are used in the laboratories. Then gallium can be used in the LEDs and semiconductors. Indium is used as a semiconductor, and touch screen devices. Indium plays a vital role in touch screen devices. And the last one, thallium, poison to rats, poison. Okay, after that we'll see about the structure of boron in this electronic configuration of this boron. And it atomic number is 5. Innermost orbit 2 electrons, outermost orbit it will be having 3 electrons. These 3 electrons will take part in the reaction. Based on that chemical behavior will be there for the boron. After this, boron, aluminium is most abundant metal in the earth crust. Commercially it is extracted from the chief ore of bauxite, okay, and the other elements of this group occur only trace amounts. Gallium, indium, thallium are applied we get in the forms of sulfides. Then chemical properties of boron. We see about the chemical properties of boron. Boron is the only non-metal in that group we have seen, that is in the different color, separate color, that is non-metal. Only boron is a non-metal, others rest are metal in that group. So it is less reactive, but at high temperature it will be reacting, and it is electron deficient compound. Boron outermost electron will be 3, so it forms a unusual type of covalent bonding. For that we will be seeing 2 examples such as diboron and boron trifluoride we will be seeing. Then formation of metal boride. Except alkali metals, it will not be reacting with alkali metals. With other metals it forms a boride, chromium boride, okay, chromium, and we put n number of boron, it forms at higher temperature, chromium boride. Reduction of boron halide, boron trihalide. On reduction of boron trihalide it forms a boron halide. That is metal boride. Metal in the sense it is W is tungsten boride it has formed. Then formation of hydrides. It does not react readily with the hydrogen, but it forms variety of hydrides and called boranes. From that, the simplest borane is called diborane. B2H6 is called diborane. From that, higher boranes can be formed. That decomposing that is above 430 degrees Celsius. Here boron trifluoride with sodium hydride at 450 Kelvin. Here above 430 it has been mentioned, so it is about 450. It forms a B2H6 triborane. Then formation of boron nitride. With dinitrogen at higher temperature it forms boron nitride. formation of oxides with the oxygen at 900 Kelvin, it forms boron oxide. Reaction with the acid and alkali. Reaction with acid and alkali. Haloacids in the sense carboxylic acid, it will not be reacting with the oxidizing acid like sulfuric acid and nitric acid. It reacts and form boric acid, and sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide, it has been evaporated. Then boron reacts with the fused sodium hydroxide. It forms a sodium borate. Uses of boron. Boron has a capacity we have seen as a controlling rod. No, it can be used as a moderator in the nuclear reactor. 10B5, isotope 10B5 can be used as a nuclear reactor. Then amorphous boron in the sense it will be brown powder crystalline, okay, brown color powder. If it is a crystalline boron, that is extremely hard and black color we have seen. So brown color amorphous boron, brown color powder, it will be used as a rocket fuel igniter. And then boron is essential for the cell walls of plants. Then compounds of boron have many applications such as eye drops, antiseptics, washing powder in the laundries. It can be used to clean our clothes and contain boric acid and borax. Here eye drops also it has been used, and here antiseptics can be when it is cut wound, bleeded wound, it can be used. And for athletes also they will be using this for fungus disinfectant to safeguard from that fungal infection. They can be used as antiseptics, boric powder. Then in the manufacture of Pyrex glass, boric oxide is used. These are all Pyrex glass. These are all cooking vessels, and this is for the laboratory apparatus. This Pyrex glass also can be prepared from the boric oxide. Then uses about borax. Borax is a sodium salt of tetraboric acid. Borax is a sodium salt of tetraboric acid. Tetra means 4, tetraboric acid. Okay. Then preparation of this is equal to colemanite with sodium carbonate forms borax Na2B4O7 and calcium carbonate, and here calcium hydroxide. Then properties of borax is basic in nature. In hot water it is alkaline, soapy substance. It dissociates into boric acid and sodium hydroxide. Sodium in hot water it given out to sodium hydroxide. When it reduces sodium hydroxide, that is alkaline. Okay, on heating it forms a transparent borax base. On heating, first it removes this water molecule, anhydrous form of borax as formed. After further heating it forms borax beads. Okay, and byproduct is boron oxide. Then borax reacts with acid to form sparingly soluble boric acid. Borax reacts with acid HCl H2SO4 forms boric acid H3BO3. Okay. When treated with ammonium chloride, it forms boron nitride. Treated with ammonium chloride forms boron nitride. Then uses of borax. Borax is used to identification of the colored metal ions. Then in the manufacture of optical in the sense spectacles. We are wearing specs nowadays. That for spectacles, opticals industry it is used, and borosilicate glasses. Borosilicate glasses are thin and durable, microwave and dishwasher safe. Okay, it can be used in microwave and it can be cleaned in the dishwasher. So this borosilicate glass can be used. In the laboratory also that borosilicates glass can be used. That means these are all resistance to thermal resistance. Okay. Then enamel and glazes of pottery. We have seen that porcelain nowadays, that many more porcelain dishes, cookery wares are available. This will be glazing a shiny appearance. These are all because of this borax. Then it is also used as a flux in the sense lubricant in metallurgy, and also acts as a good preservative. It can be as a good preservative. Borax does work for pest control. Its primary ingredients is boric acid, which is the effective insecticide, particularly against the cockroaches. It can be acted as an insecticide. Then boric acid. Boric acid H3BO3, or we will be taking out the B out and B, that is B, OH thrice. We can write in this way also. Boric acid. Preparation of boric acid, that is borax with sulfuric acid and with water, it forms a boric acid. And a colemanite with sulfuric acid, AIS is missing, sulfuric acid, boric acid has formed. Then properties, boric acid on hydrolysis, it forms it gets H3 plus H3O hydronium ion forms, so it is known as a weak monobasic acid. It accepts hydroxyl ion rather than donating proton. Okay, so it is a, that will be asking as a 2-mark question, why boric acid is considered as a weak basic acid. It means rather than donating proton, it accepts OH, so it is a weak monobasic acid. So it is a weak monobasic acid. You should write in that way. Then it reacts with sodium hydroxide, forms sodium metaborate. Meta in the sense 1. Sodium metaborate. Okay, B is only 1, and with the sodium hydroxide, it reacts with sodium hydroxide from sodium metaborate and sodium tetraborate. If it is only 1 mole of sodium hydroxide, it forms metaborate. If it is 2 mole of sodium hydroxide, sodium tetraborate. Tetra means 4 borate. Okay, sodium tetraborate. Okay, action of heat at 373 Kelvin, it forms metaboric acid. Meta in the sense 1, we should keep remember that metaboric acid it forms. At 413 it forms a tetraboric acid. It is tetraboric acid. Then when heated at a red hot, it gives boric anhydride. Okay, boric anhydride, which is in a glassy mass. It appears as a glassy mass, glassy appearance. Then action of ammonia, it forms a boron nitride. The temperature will be 800 to 1200. Then here, when boric acid or borate salt, react with ethyl alcohol C2H5OH in presence of concentrated sulfuric acid, it forms trialkyl borate and ester. It is an ester. Trialkyl borate is an ester. It forms. This trialkyl ester is the reaction with the sodium hydride. When this trialkyl borate reacts with sodium hydride NaH. Okay, when it reacts with NaH, it forms a complex. This is powerful reducing agent. Coordination compound is a powerful reducing agent. Then structure of boric acid, it has 2-dimensional layer structure. It consists BO3 and 3 minus. Okay, BO3 and 3 minus unit, and these are linked to each other by hydrogen bond. Each are linked by hydrogen bond as shown in this figure. And it is the layer structure of boric acid. The layer structure of boric acid. Then uses of boric acid. Boric acid is used in the manufacturing of pottery glasses. These are all pottery glasses for ornamental we are using the reception hall, and nowadays it is easy to wash. These bowls can be readily easily washable, so it is used in the houses. Then enamel and pigments, it is used as an antiseptic and an eye lotion. Okay, it is also used in the food preservatives. In cookeries also it is used. For athletes, they'll be using this boric powder to safeguard from their fungal infection, and for cut to opened wound, for the small bleeding, little bit bleeding, in the sense we can, by applying this boric powder, we can control the bleeding. In that sense it will be used. Then diborane preparation, as discussed earlier, diborane can be prepared with the action of metal hydride with the boron. Action of metal hydride, this is metal hydride. Okay, it is iodine, I2, it will forms boron, diborane, it is B2H6. This method is used for industrial production. Diborane can also be obtained in the small quantities. It is obtained in the small quantities with iodine, that is sodium borohydride, in diglyme. So with iodine, it in very small quantity of diborane can be obtained. On heating with magnesium boride, we will be getting magnesium chloride is separated out under B2O6, and from this B4H10 on further reducing we get a B2H6. Okay, B4H10 we obtain, on further reducing with hydrogen we get a B2H6, diborane we obtain. Then properties of diborane at 388 Kelvin in the U-tube, it will be forming higher boranes B5H11. At 193 to 373 it forms B4H10. It forms it has low thermal stability, so, and it is extremely toxic, sweet smell, and a gaseous state at room temperature, highly reactive. At high temperature it forms higher boranes liberating hydrogen. These are all higher boranes and liberating hydrogen. Then in the it should be in the sealed tube, it is in the U tube. Then diborane at this temperature 473 to 523 Kelvin, B5H9, and this is B2H6 with at the temperature 523 it forms B5H9 again, and here B5H10 on reducing hydrogen. Then on red hot it forms boron. Boron is obtained on removing hydrogen. Diborane reacts with water and alkali, gives boric acid and metaborate. Action of air does not react with air, but it gives in impure form. In the pure form it will not be reacting, but impure form it reacts and forms boron oxide B2O3. Liberates more large amount of heat, and it is readily reactive with methyl alcohol to give trimethyl borate. It is trimethyl borate. Then hydroboration, we are seeing about that diborane chemical properties. Diborane adds to alkene or alkyne in either solvent at room temperature. This is called hydroboration. This is anti-Markovnikov's rule. Anti-Markovnikov's rule means substitution will take in the less substituted carbon. Here actually both are same, but anti-Markovnikov's rule, less substituted carbon, if substitution takes place in the less substitution carbon, that is anti-Markovnikov's rule. Here reaction with the ionic hydride, it forms a metal borohydride. This is metal lithium borohydride, sodium borohydride, that is with ionic hydrides it forms a metal borohydrides. Then reaction with ammonia, it forms a borazole, it forms borazole. Okay, with ammonia at low temperature diborane gives diborane diammonate. On heating at high temperature it gives, okay, on heating this compound we are heating at higher temperature, it gives borazole. Borazole is looking like a benzene ring. In the benzene ring alternate NH and alternate BH substituted with the alternate double bonds. So we can say this as a inorganic benzene, borazole. Write note on borazole. Or reaction of diborane with ammonia. On that case, we have to write this for 2 marks, 3 mark question answers. Okay. Then diborane, structure of diborane, that is formula is B2H6. So we may tend to compare this with the C2H6 ethane, but C2H6 as here it is electron deficient compound. It is not electron deficient compound. Ethane is not a electron deficient compound. It has about here number of electrons will be here 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 and 14 electrons will be shared between this. Okay, carbon 2 4 plus 4, and here H6 is a 6 electron. Each hydrogen has one electron, so totally it shared about 14 electrons and make a compound. But here we have B2H6 is electron deficient. Here it completes octet rule, isn't it? It completes octet rule, no problem in this. But it is in case of diborane, it has only 3 electrons in boron and 6 electrons. 6 electrons, 3 into 2, no, B2H6, 3 into 2, that is 6 electrons of boron and 6 electrons of hydrogen. It totally 12 electrons, that is shortage of 2 electrons, okay, to complete the octet rule. How it overcomes, we have seen it will be forming different coordination pattern in the boron. These are all electron deficient compound and it forms different coordination compound. For that we should know how it has been made. Here we may be knowing boron in the ground state. This is the electronic configuration for boron. At excited state, this electron will move here. Okay, so it is having S and P2 electronic configuration. By using this, what is this? By using this vacant orbit also it is using, and it forms made a bond, that is a banana bond. Actually here we can see this is banana bond. Each boron satisfy sp3 hybridization, isn't it? sp3 hybridization. Here one hydrogen, here one hydrogen, here one hydrogen. So it is sp3 hybridization. This is also sp3 hybridization. Actually if we see this picture, boron is here. This is 4 terminal hydrogens and it is called 4 bonds, 2 centered, 2 electron. Okay, this is 2 centered, 2 electrons, and it is called a boron hydrogen bond. Okay, 2 centered, 2 electron bonds with a terminal hydrogen, and these 2 middle bond. Okay, this is with the hydrogen, this is with the bridge hydrogen. So they have mentioned as a HB, bridge hydrogen. Here also one hydrogen, bridge hydrogen, and it is sharing 3 electrons with this boron, sharing 3 centered. Okay, this boron sharing with this 3 centered, this hydrogen, these 2 terminal hydrogen and this one bonded hydrogen. In that same way, this boron sharing electron with these 2 terminal hydrogen and with this bonded with this bridge hydrogen, isn't it? So it has one vacant. This, what is this? This boron will be having one vacant orbit. In that same way, this boron also will be having one vacant orbit. This hydrogen overlaps everything together, the sharing electron of this, and okay, this is a usual sharing electron. This is vacant sharing orbit. With that, this hydrogen circle. This is the shape of hydrogen. The s orbital will be circular. No, this is overlapping everything. Okay, so what does it mean? The vacant orbit also take part in boron diborane. Okay, vacant orbit also take part in diborane and make banana shape. Understood what I am saying? That makes a banana shape. And in that same way, this has a vacant orbit. This boron has a vacant orbit. This vacant orbit and this usual one electron sharing of this boron and sharing of this hydrogen electron. That means two electrons sharing between three bonds. Three elements, boron 1, 2 and this hydrogen. 3 electrons share between these 3 elements. Okay, so this is 3 centered 2 electron. 3 centered 2 electrons. These 2 boron and this 1 hydrogen bond by 2 electrons. In that same way, 2 electrons shared between this by using this hydrogen. So this is 3 centered 2 electron. Understood? Then we'll see about the formation of boron trifluoride. Boron trifluoride is also an electrodeficient compound. Boric acid reacts with calcium fluoride in presence of concentrated sulfuric acid, forms boron trifluoride. It is boron trifluoride. Then borax reacts with here soda, that is sodium carbonate, forms boron sodium tetraborate. It forms sodium tetraborate. Then it can also obtain by treating boron trioxide with carbon and fluoride. Boron obtained by treating boron trioxide. It is boron trioxide with the carbon and fluorine forms boron trifluoride. Then on thermal decomposition of benzene diazonium tetrafluoroborate. Benzene diazonium tetrafluoroborate, it forms on heating, it gives boron trifluoride. Properties: boron trifluoride has a planar geometry. It has electron deficient compound that accepts the electron pairs to form coordinate covalent bonds. Okay, so it forms a coordinate covalent bonds to represent that it is in the opposite side. That arrow is in the left side. Okay, then on hydrolysis it forms a fluoroboric acid. Fluoroboric acid in the sense it formula is H plus and BF4 minus. That is fluoroboric acid. On hydrolysis it forms fluoroboric acid. That is orthoboric acid and fluoroboric acid. Then uses of boron trifluoride. Boron trifluoride is used to prepare fluoroboric acid. It is acting as a fluorinating reagent. Till then we will be completing this. We'll be stopping this boron. Next, in the next video we'll be seeing about the other elements we have not touched. We'll be seeing some of the properties varies in that we'll be seeing in the next video, and we'll complete with the aluminium. Till then, bye.